all been waiting for. The tension is building. Are you ready? It's time for the final countdown. Let's count down together. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. If they took away your title, your office, your salary, your professional reputation, and your authority tomorrow, would you still know who you are? If they took away your title, your salary, your office, your professional reputation, and your authority tomorrow, would you still know who you are? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Leadership Unscripted. So tonight I want to begin at the end. Not the beginning of your career, not your next promotion, not your 5-year plan. I want to imagine your last day at work. So you've worked for 20, 30, maybe 40 years. You've given speeches. You've attended hundreds of meetings. You've answered thousands of emails. You've solved many, many problems. You've managed people. You've made money, good money too. You've earned qualifications. You've collected numerous titles. Perhaps you became the CEO. Perhaps you became the principal, the director, the manager, the professor, the entrepreneur, the senior executive, whatever success looked like for you. You achieved some of it. And then one day, just like that, it's over. Someone organizes a farewell. There are speeches. Someone buys a cake. Maybe they even gave you a plaque. People say wonderful things about you. Indeed, you've worked for 30, 40 years. You take photographs. You pack your belongings. And then you go home. Monday morning comes. The organization opens. Meeting continues. Emails are sent. Decisions are made. Good night, Jermaine. And somebody else is sitting in your chair. Tonight's topic is one day the career will end. What will be left? And I don't ask that question to frighten you. I don't want to frighten anyone. I ask it because perhaps we spend too much time preparing for our next professional chapter and not enough time preparing for the life that exists outside of our profession. I want everybody participating tonight. Just complete the sentence for me. If I couldn't do my job anymore, if I couldn't do my current job anymore, I would still be. Who would you still be? It's black, Jermaine. It's black. If you couldn't do your job anymore, your current job anymore, who would you still be? Don't put your profession. Don't say teacher. Don't say principal. Don't say entrepreneur. Don't say manager. Tell me who you are without what you do. And that's harder than it sounds. Not true. Harder than it sounds. Who you are. Who are we outside of our career? Who are we outside of who we are? I'm a principal. But who am I if that title was removed tomorrow? That's what we're here to talk about tonight. So one of the first questions we ask someone when we meet them is, what do you do? And listen to how we answer. I'm a teacher. I'm a doctor. I'm an attorney. I'm a principal. I'm a business owner. Interesting. We didn't ask who are you? But eventually, our occupation becomes our identity. And that can become dangerous. Because careers are temporary, even successful ones. Because companies restructure, business fail, contracts end, organizations change, people will retire. We will retire one day. Health circumstances change, industries disappear, technology transforms professions, and eventually, whether we choose the date or not, every career ends. So here's tonight's first uncomfortable truth. Never build your identity entirely around something that has an expiration date. What did I say? Never build your identity entirely around something that has an expiration date. Your career should be a part of your life, yes. It should, but it should never become your entire life. You shouldn't live for your career. You shouldn't live for your career. It should be a part of your life, but it shouldn't dominate it. So let's talk about ambition. Let's talk ambition. Because I don't want tonight to become an anti-success conversation. I believe in excellence. I believe in ambition. Let me turn down this next phone, sorry. Let me turn it down. So I believe in excellence. I believe in ambition. I believe in working hard because I'm a hard worker. I believe in building businesses. I believe in advancing professionally. That's why we're here every night. We're learners. I believe in education. I believe in profession. There's nothing inherently wrong with wanting more. The question is, what are you exchanging to get it? Because every yes has a cost. You say yes to another meeting. What received your no? You say yes to another promotion. What changes at home? You say yes to another business opportunity. Where does the additional time come from? You answer emails throughout vacation. Who shares the vacation with your phone? That's the part we don't discuss. We calculate salary increases. We rarely calculate life decreases. What did I say? We calculate salary increases. We rarely calculate life decreases. Another 20,000 sounds wonderful. But what if it costs another 15 hours every week? Another promotion sounds impressive. But what if you haven't had dinner with your children in 4 days? Not everything that increases your income increases your life. Let that sit in. Not everything that increases your income increases your life. So here's tonight's first controversial question. Would you accept a 25% pay cut if it gave you significantly more time with the people you love? Type yes or no. I'm gonna go up front. I don't think I would accept a pay cut. I'm sorry, not in this economy. I'm gonna run out the gate. I'm gonna run out the gate. That's a difficult one. That's a real difficult one. But I have to ask a question. Jay someone said not with this cost of living. So already you see that we can't. The idea is to have more time with our families, but life is happening. Life is lifing. Cannot afford the exact cap. We just can't afford it. We just can't afford it. There are mortgages, children, responsibilities, financial realities, and that's why this conversation can become complicated. And here's where tonight becomes personal. Sometimes you aren't the only person paying for your career. Your family may be paying too. Good evening, Marie. Your spouse pays when you're physically present, but mentally you're still at work. Your children pay when every conversation begins with, "Give me a minute." Your friendships pay when you repeatedly say, "I've been so busy." Your body pays when sleep becomes optional. And sometimes you pay. You accomplish everything you said you wanted, but you lose the ability to enjoy it. Let me ask you something. Do the people you say you're working so hard for actually experience enough of you? Be honest tonight. You say you're working so hard for your family, you're working so hard for your children. Do they experience enough of you? Do you think they get enough time with you? Do they really get enough time with you? I know that's a difficult question. We often say, "I'm doing this for my family." And sometimes that's absolutely true. But imagine your family responding, "We appreciate everything you're providing, but we would also like to have some more time with you." Kav said no, they complain a lot. Imagine your family saying, "We appreciate everything you're doing, but we would also like some more time with you." Not the salary, not the house, not the school fees, not the vacations. They want some more time with you. Your attention, your laughter, your conversation, and just your presence. Sometimes your children, your family, your loved ones, they yearn for just to have you there. So I don't want you to answer this publicly. Answer it privately. Who consistently receives the best version of you? Is it your workplace, your customers, your employees, or the people at home? Don't answer that in the chat. Do strangers receive your patience while your family receives your exhaustion? Do employees receive encouragement while your spouse receives silence? Do you mentor everyone else's children while struggling to find uninterrupted time for your own? That's not condemnation. That's an audit. Because you cannot change what you refuse to examine. Let me ask again. Do strangers receive your patience while your family receives the exhausted side of you? Your employees, they receive all the encouragement and motivation from you. And when you get home, your spouse receives silence because you're tired. Do you spend hours mentoring other people's children while you struggle to find uninterrupted time for your own children? Remember, it's not condemnation. We're doing an audit tonight because we cannot change what we refuse to examine, and we're examining our life tonight. So I want to let you guys know that leadership, you see, is more than performance. And this connects strongly with ideas in my book, The Teaching and Learning Leader. So the book is rooted in educational leadership, but one principle travels well beyond education. And this is it. Effective leadership is ultimately about developing people, not merely producing results. Results matter. Performance matters. Standards matter. Accountability matters, yes. But leadership becomes dangerous when human beings become nothing more than instruments for producing outcomes. And here's a twist tonight. And that includes you, it includes me. You are not simply an instrument for producing results. You are a human being. A leader who spends years developing everybody else while neglecting your own relationships. Identity and humanity has created that imbalance. You spend years neglecting your own relationship identity, and humanity has created that imbalance. We're humans. And perhaps we need to redefine our achievement. So instead of only asking, what did I accomplish? Ask yourself, who became better because I was there? Who did I mentor? Who did I encourage? Who did I prepare? Who became more confident? Who learned something? Who discovered their potential? Who will carry something I taught them long after I've left? Because one day, you're going to find out that your greatest leadership achievement may not be something you built. It may be someone you built. And that's legacy. And while you're out there building people and building strangers, ensure that you're building the people who matters most. Your family, your loved ones, your spouse, your children. Ensure. Because that becomes your legacy. The workplace, your career will move on. They'll move on from you. And someone else will occupy the chair. So ensure while you're investing, you're not only investing at work, but you're investing at home. You're investing in the people who will be there when the title is removed. Always remember that. So here's this part, when the title becomes the person. And this also connects deeply with what is explored in this book. Because one form of fragility occurs when our identity becomes overly dependent on an external structure. The title validates me. The organization validates me. The salary validates me. My authority validates me. My achievement validates me. So what happens when those disappear? What will happen when the title disappears? You no longer work at that organization. You're no longer getting that salary. You're not in an authoritative position anymore. You've retired. So the achievement, all that you've achieved, the use is no longer required. What happens when those disappear? Some people don't struggle with retirement because they miss working. Guess what happened? They struggle because they miss being important. You ever see some people, when they reach retirement age, they don't want to go home? They want to cling on to the role, cling on to the title. Have you ever seen those people? When it's retirement time, when it's time for them to go, they hold to them back, bend, and they're not going away. They would rather be pushed to work in wheelchair and on walking stick than accept that it's time for them to leave. It's time for them to transition. They struggle because they miss being important. And that's different. No assistance, no employees waiting for decisions, no invitation because of the position, no title beneath their name. And suddenly, a frightening question appears. Who am I now? And this is why we need to build what I discuss as transferable capital. Remember last night I talked about transferable capital. Or was it the night before last night? I speak about transferable capital, chapter 9 in this book. Chapter 9 in this book, transferable capital. Because build things during your career that can travel with you beyond the career. Your knowledge, your wisdom, your relationships, your reputation, your communication skills, your creativity, your ability to mentor others, your emotional intelligence, your ability to teach, your ability to create, your values, your character, and the network you formed. Those are what we call transferable capital. Those will travel with you beyond the workplace. So a title belongs to the organization, but your transferable capital belongs to you. Remember that. Your title, it belongs to the organization, but your transferable capital belongs to you. And when the career ends, you take it with you. I'm Mr. Dale and Michael Webster too. Good night, Michael. How are you? So let's do tonight's scenario. I want everybody involved to imagine this. Imagine, as I said, we're starting from the end of tonight. We're starting from the end because a lot of us really don't think about retirement, We don't think about what life will be beyond our current position. So imagine this. Imagine you're 62 years old. And don't think because you're 20 and 25 and 30, 62 is far away. No. Just the other day you were 10. Just the other day you were 20. Just the other day I was 20. Now when I'm booking flight, I have to scroll all the way down to find my year. When I'm booking flight nowadays, I just scroll all the way down now. Scroll all the way down. So yes. So imagine you're 62 years old. You spend 35 years building an extraordinary career. You're highly respected. You've reached senior leadership. You've earned well. You've received multiple awards. People know your name. And tonight is your retirement dinner. There are over 200 people in the room. One person after another walks to the microphone. They talk about your achievements, your work ethic, your leadership, your contribution, your career. At the end of the 2 or 3 hour dinner, you go home. You place the retirement plaque on the table. And if you're in Jamaica and you're a teacher, usually when you retire, especially if you're a principal, they give you a rocking chair. They give you a rocking chair. When I used to live in Jamaica, when you retire, the school usually come together and they give you a rocking chair. Right, so you go home after the 2 or 3 hour dinner. You go home and you place the retirement plaque on your table. The house becomes quiet. Your spouse is there, but over the years you've grown apart because you've invested so much in work. Your children love you, but they live their own lives and aren't particularly close to you anymore. Most of your friendships were workplace friendships. You haven't developed many hobbies. You don't know what you're doing Monday morning because for 35 years, the answer to who are you was your profession. Tomorrow, that answer is gone. Here's my question to you. Was that a successful life? Yes or no? Or it's complicated? Was that a successful life? Was that a successful life? Your spouse grew apart from you. Children became distant because you had no time for them. You've been so invested in work. Friendships. No, it was not. Exactly. Kav said it wasn't balanced at all. It wasn't balanced. And that's why, while we're in the thick of things, while we're all invested and we are pursuing these careers and we are invested in our work, remember the balance. Remember the balance. Remember time with your family. Remember to build friendships and network outside of your work. Remember to build friendships outside of your work. Network outside of your work. I'm not saying you can't have good friends in your work. I'm not saying that. But ensure they're not just work friends. Ensure they're not just work friends. So for me, I'm going to say it's complicated. We could say it wasn't balanced. It could be complicated. Because this isn't about pretending the career didn't matter. It mattered. The career mattered enormously. The contribution was real. The lives impacted was real. The achievements were real. But perhaps success cannot be measured in one dimension. What if we needed a broader scorecard? What about career, relationships, health, character, financial security, contribution, joy, purpose, spiritual life for those for whom that matters? friendships, personal growth. Those are all things we have to take into consideration. So we can't just live our life through our career. When you think about relationships, building good relationships outside the workplace, think about our health, character, financial security. So when you retire, you're not sitting at home rocking. You can take a little cruise. You can travel. You can go and do the things you weren't able to do while you work. So all of those things. Joy and finding purpose after retirement. After they've removed the title, ensure that you still have purpose. Because what will kill you and what kill a lot of people when they retire, they don't see their purpose anymore. In their head, they become useless. And usually, a lot of them resort to the church and they take up a lot of active roles in the church. It's not by chance, you know. They still want a place to feel that they can contribute. They want purpose. So let's say tonight's topic. What happens? Let me scroll back up. One day the career will end. What will be left? So we're talking about retirement. What happens after retirement? What happens after retirement? That's what we're talking about tonight. That's what we're talking about tonight. Let me find out where I was. All right, I was here. All right, so as I was saying, that's why a lot of people, when they retire, Ruth Ann says, even after retirement, they still want to be active. Facts, yes. Some of them miss being important. They miss working. And some of them resort to the church and they resort to giving back their job. So, and that's actually good because people want to find purpose. They want to find purpose. So remember that while you're working, while you're building career, while you're building the dream life, remember that there's a life after your career. So work on the relationships. Work on the friendships. Work on character. Work on values. Work on who you will be when the title is removed. When you attend that retirement dinner and you go home, what will tomorrow morning be like for you? Are you going to stay home and wither away? And you retire today, and by next week, because you feel useless, you're home fretting and stroke take you, and all sort of sickness come down on you? You don't want that. You want after the title is removed, there's purpose, and you know that purpose. You know what's next. And that purpose doesn't have to mean working or doing anything else. You know, that purpose could be traveling the world. That purpose could be go and do things you've never had the chance or the time to do. But know your why. Know your why. So as I said, the title, it belongs to the organization. Your transferable capital belongs to you. Never ever forget that. Never ever forget that. Never ever forget that. Because a successful life, you see, I'm going to say this. A successful life requires more than a successful resume. And that's a question I keep asking myself, and I keep reflecting on it sometime too, that a successful life requires more than a successful resume. So we want to build a life that can survive our career. So what do we do? So I'm not telling anyone to resign tomorrow. No, we have bills to pay. I'm not telling you to stop pursuing promotion. What I'm saying is build your life while you're building your career. Build a solid life outside of work. Build a solid life outside of your reputation. Don't postpone living until retirement. Build friendships now. Protect friendships now. Protect relationships now. Take care of your body now. Develop things, work at things you're interested in now. Travel if you can. Laugh. Find time to rest. Learn things unrelated to your profession. Start doing it now. Mentor somebody. Create memories. Build financial independence. Develop transferable capital. Spend time with your parents while they're still here. Listen to your children while they're still interested in telling you things. Because childhood doesn't wait for your calendar to clear. And here's one we don't talk about enough. Stop telling yourself you'll have more time later. Stop doing that. Stop telling yourself you'll have more time later. Later is one of life's most dangerous promises. After this project, after this promotion, after this semester, after this business takes off, after the children finish school, after I finish pay off my mortgage, after, and then one day you discover later became your life. Do you want that? Just stop putting off things. And last time we talked about leadership when it comes to time, managing our time. But stop putting off things. Stop putting off things. Say after I do this, after this project, after this promotion, I'm gonna no. Stop putting off things. Start doing the things you want to do now, because later can become your life. So I want to try something different tonight. So imagine there's an empty chair beside you. Imagine there's an empty chair right beside you. Sitting in that chair is you at 70 years old. So imagine there's an empty chair beside you, and sitting in that chair is your future self at 70 years old. You're older, you're wiser, career mostly behind you. You're 70, you're retired. They've moved on. That version of you has come back tonight just for 5 minutes. What would they tell you? Would they say work more? Would they say you really should have answered more emails? Or I wish you had attended another meeting? Or you should have worried more about what people thought of you? Do you think your 70-year-old self would tell you that? Probably not. Maybe they'd say, call your parents, take the trip, save more money, stop trying to impress everybody, forgive that person, forgive and just clear your mind, take care of your health, go home in the evenings, play with your children, play with your family, tell the people who matter that you love them, and stop postponing happiness. And perhaps you're going to be okay. That's what I'm sure your 70-year-old self might be telling you. They're not going to be telling you that they should have answered more emails or attended more meetings or care more about what people thought of them. No, they're not going to say that. That doesn't matter. In like 10, 15 years, that doesn't matter. It matters about the things you did, the connections, the life you built outside of your career. Because when the career is removed, when the title is removed, that is what you're going to fall back on. Never forget that. Never forget that. So I want one person to complete the sentence for me. My 70-year-old self would probably tell me to what? My 70-year-old self would probably tell me to what? Stop being so picky. That's what my 70-year-old self would tell me. Stop being so picky. Kath says take more vacations. Yeah. Anybody else? What will your 70-year-old self tell you? Remember, we're 70 tonight, We're 70 tonight. We are all retirees tonight. What would you tell your younger self? I would say, stop being so picky. And Kath says, take more vacations. Anybody else? What do you think your 70-year-old self would tell you? Don't waste so much time living for exactly. Don't waste so much time living for people. Because 10, 15 years from now, it won't matter. Those people won't matter. All them negative people in the workplace and negative people around, they won't matter. Some will dead, some will move on with their life. You won't even remember some of them name. And you see, there's a person, she's like a mentor to me, older, 60 something. Nikki says travel more. And she said to me one day, about a year or so ago, she said, don't matter when people fight you, don't matter what people say about you, don't stress about that. Because everybody used to stress me. They're at Dovecot lying down now. They're all at Dovecot. And that is a profound message. The people who you're worrying about, those who you're trying to impress, it doesn't worth it. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the headache. The person you have up in your heart, it's not worth it. Forgive and move on. Forgive for you. You can forgive, but you can forgive somebody, but you don't have to invite them in your space. You forgive and you move on. Forgive for you so you can move on with your life. And Jay Salmon says, enjoy the simple things. Nikki Francis says, they won't matter the day you decide to stop caring so much. Exactly. They're sleeping while they're sleeping while your blood pressure is going up. So sometimes when it comes down to mattering what people, we need to just become nonchalant and just ignore it. It's we're human and it's hard, but we just need to ignore it at times. So when it's time for you to stress, and when certain situations come and you want to stress and get up in arms and worry yourself about it, think about what your 70-year-old self would say to you. Was it worth it? Was it worth your energy? Was it worth your time? Will that person matter 10 years from now? Will that person matter a year from now? And sometimes when you know the ways of a man, you know to live with them. That's my mantra. When you know the ways of a man, you know to live with them. And Marie says, protect at all cost. Protect your peace at all cost. And Nikki extended to say, the person who gets you upset is in control of you. Yeah. They can pull your strings. So before we finish tonight, I want to give you 5 questions. And don't answer them for TikTok. Answer them for yourself. 1. If my career ended tomorrow, who would I be? Do the people I claim to love receive enough of me? Am I building relationships that can survive my professional usefulness? So when you're no longer the principal, the head teacher, the manager, the supervisor, when the title is removed, will the relationships you're building now still matter? Will they extend into retirement? Or people just cling to you because you help make their lives easier? You're useful now. And what transferable capital am I developing that will remain after the title disappears? And finally, if I continue living exactly as I am today for another 10 years, will I like the life I've built? No. I'm going to say no. That last question is important because 10 years doesn't arrive all at once. It arrives Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, one meeting, one missed dinner, one postponed vacation, one ignored friendship. one decision at a time. So all I want to say is just start living. Start living. Stop putting off things. Build a life outside of your work. Build a life outside of your career. You don't want to end up at 65 and 70 and don't want to go home. You don't want you don't want people to drag you by your toenail out of the work environment. You don't want people to push you out because you don't want to go, because you feel as if your purpose will be removed if you leave that job when you retire. You don't want that to happen to you. So build a life outside of work. And that's a statement I'm taking for myself to build a life outside of work. So when the title is removed, you have something to go home to. You have other things. You still have purpose outside of your job, outside of your career. So stop putting off things. Stop ignoring those relationships, those conversations you're missing, those vacations you're missing, those experiences you're missing. Stop it. Stop it. Because the work, the job will replace you. It will replace you. It's like a cycle. It's like a cycle. It's like a cycle. And if you think I'm lying, if you're a teacher, how many teachers was in that classroom before you? As a principal, there were like 6, 7 principals before me in my current position. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. And we need to remember that it's a cycle. Someday someone will replace you. Someday someone will replace you. And when you're replaced, what are you going home to? Are you going to fret and wither and dead? Are you going to fret and then 2 weeks after we hear that, oh, Mr. So-and-so died? Or are you going to be taking them vacations? Because listen to me. I told my best friend that I have my retirement plan, you know. It's when I retire, before they're in the ground coverage. Exactly. Sometimes before you even die, coverage is there. He was a good worker. Listen to me. I tell everybody, I have my retirement plan, you know. I've planned out when I retire, I plan what I'm going to do. So in the mornings, I'm going to get up at 5:30, you see? I'm going to get up at 5:30. And I'm going to get a tall cup of coffee. Tall cup of black coffee. And I'm going to go in my vehicle. And I'm going to put on my broad mesh hat. A broad mesh hat, you know. They're going to know that it's Mr. Dale coming. And I'm going to have a dark glass on my phone. On my face. And I'm going to wind down my vehicle windows. All 4 of them. And I'm going to hold up traffic. I'm not driving traffic. I'm going to drive so slow. Sip my coffee. And just enjoy life. And I don't care who want to be behind me tooting their horns. Who want to go around me. Who want to stop and argue with. It's not me they're talking to. I'm holding up traffic. And I'm going from East End to Georgetown. Holding up traffic. And in the evenings, I'm back on the road again. Holding up traffic. Enjoying life. Go down by Foster's or what. I'm enjoying life. Going on, you have to find. So I'm planning. You have to find purpose, you know. You have to find purpose. We're not going on to dead. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. So you can stay there. Remember, build a life outside of work. Build a life outside. Build friendship outside of work. And there are friendships in workplace. Planning to be a nun. I'm planning to enjoy life. You know, I'm planning to enjoy life. I'm planning to enjoy life. I'm not planning to enjoy life. So, it's a matter of, listen. We can't take this life too serious. We can't take this life too serious. We cannot take this life too serious. We have to take care of our health. We have to take care of our finances. We have to ensure that those friendships that we have, we invest in those friendships. We have to invest in those friendships. And we have to ensure that while we work and we're in our career, you see? Good night, Flair. We have to ensure that while we work we don't mistake those work relationships as real friendships, I'm not saying you don't have work relationships that extend beyond the workplace, but we must identify and know the difference. Is this person just my work friend? Or is this a genuine friend that our relationship extend beyond work? Our relationship extend beyond my benefit to that person or that person benefit to me? Are we friends because we work together? We're on the same grade level? Or are we genuine friends? We talk about life, we talk about things other than work. Know the difference. Know the difference. Know the difference. Because some of us are going to end up in retirement. And when you realize that all of who you used to call friends, they're just your co-workers. And that's going to be a shocker to you. That's going to be a shocker to you. All of who you used to call friends, they were just your co-workers. They're just your co-worker. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. And let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in a workspace and you see like 2 or 3 people, they're very close, and people would say, oh, they're close friends, and like one of that person, like something significant happened in their life, like they're getting married or something, and you see they don't invite those people, and you say, but how come so and so didn't invite so and so? They're not friends. They're co-workers. There's a difference. They're not friends. They were never friends. They're co-workers. And while we're in the work environment, we're creating a conducive environment where we share, but we must not mistake the difference. And if somebody in your workspace is having a birthday party and you're not invited, stop coping your feelings. You're a co-worker. If the person don't see you as your friend, why do they want to invite you to their birthday party? That's personal. That's for personal friends, not co-workers. There's a difference. And sometimes we feel too entitled. Somebody having their baby shower, somebody having something, birthday party or something, you're up in your feelings because the person didn't invite you. Why do someone just wants to tune off? Why do you want an invite? Why do you want an invitation? Why are you looking at an invitation? Why you feel away? The person, they're your co-worker. And while they're at work, they have to be nice to you. It's their job to be nice to you, to ensure the environment is conducive to work. The environment is a positive one. So they laugh with you, be jovial with you, joke with you. You may go have 1 and 2 drink together. You may have lunch together in the days. But when they leave work in the evening, you're no longer their friend. And Marie says, exactly. And some people will invite you for the gifts. And when you go to those parties, look, when you go to your co-worker, those co-workers just would like to have 1,000,001 people at their birthday parties or functions. When you go to those functions, don't you always know who are the friends from who are just the friends? Don't you know who are really the friends from those who are just co-workers and associates? Don't you always know how they set up the table, who they sit close to? You know the difference. And some of us, I was invited to the party, so I'm their friend. Friend what? Want to lick in your back? No, you're not their friend. You're not their friend. You're an associate. There's a difference. There is a difference. And too often, we build we mistake colleagues, and colleagues being colleagues and professional at work and having a conducive work environment. So we chat, we laugh, we have lunch together, we're jovial at work. You misinterpret and say, I have a friend. We've been friends for 10 years. Because you've been working in the same school or the same organization for 10 years. They see you every day for 5, 6, 7 hours. They see you every day. Have you ever been to their home? Have they ever invited you over to have Sunday dinner with your family? Have they ever done that? When they're having their most intimate function? Have they ever invited you? Do you know much about them other than what they tell you? And Nikki finds a mistaken identity it is. Yes, we can't. We have to be careful. And that's why some of us reach retirement. And we spend years investing in organizations, investing in people, and forget those who we should really be investing in. And when retirement hits us, and everybody tell you thanks and give you the gifts and give you that rocking chair and give you that nice glass plaque, happy retirement, and give that 5 minutes of nice speech how good of a worker you was, and you go home, who will call you tomorrow morning? Who will be coming over to have coffee with you? Who can you call and say, I'm coming over to have coffee, you hear? Who will still be there? So let us stop. 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 Mistaking that. Let us stop, please. So tonight's conversation connects two ideas from my work that I believed belong together. I believe they belong together. So in the teaching and learning leader, leadership is fundamentally about creating conditions in which other people can develop, learn, and succeed. And in the psychology of fragility, we confront what happens when individuals and systems become overly dependent on structures, identities, and ways of operating that may eventually change. So together, they lead us to tonight's challenge. Build organizations, but also build people. Build your career, but also build yourself. Build financial security, but also build relationships. Build a reputation, but also build character. Build success, but please build a life. Please build a life. Because one day, the emails will stop. Someone else will attend the meetings. Someone else will occupy the office. Someone else will inherit the responsibilities you once thought couldn't function without you. And the world will keep moving. When that day comes, I hope you're not standing there wondering, who am I now? I hope you have people who know you beyond your title. I hope you have friendships and relationships that weren't built around your usefulness. Let me go again. I hope you have relationships and friendships that weren't built around your usefulness. I hope you have interests that make you feel alive. I hope you have memories that never appeared on your resume. That means don't live for your job. I hope you have transferable capital that allows you to begin another chapter. And most importantly, I hope you can look back and say, I didn't just make a living, I lived. So I leave you with tonight's final question. One day, the career will end. What will be left? Good night, everybody. This has been Leadership Unscripted. Real conversations, real leadership, real impact. Thank you so very, very much. I hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation. Sipping on cold coffee, graveyard shift, change your rattling empty, it's begin to drift. If you feel my tremble, it's not fairy space, my break, take your blessing, calling on the rock of gray dress with my hiding place. It's weird, I'm kind, seem to want to buckle my knee. All right, Monday. Now, where you going about quick recap? Do not treat us so hard tomorrow. Getting beating. Kav says, do not beat us so hard tomorrow. Getting beating too much. We would love to see and hear from Nikki said we would love to see and hear from you tomorrow. But sometimes these conversations are worth having. Sometimes we're just going day to day. Life is busy. Life is lifing. Life is life. And because life is lifing, we forget to live. We forget to live. So let me give you a joke. It's not a joke. So I'm on this weight loss journey, you see? And my best friend, so I went on vacation the other day, and because I'm watching my weight, you see, I've only been having egg and sardine, because it's a lot of protein. And you see, I want to watch the weight, you see? And my best friend disgraced me daily. Disgraced me daily. Disgraced me daily. And when I look back, I said to myself, so Dale, you travel to another country with a lot of exquisite cuisines and food and everything, and you're going to go there and be on diet for the entire week or 2 weeks? That was crazy. So sometimes, you see, I forget to live, but I have friends, I have people around me who remind me that I need to live. I need to live a little. So I'm reminding you tonight, while people pouring me, I'm pouring into you, we have to remember to live. Build friendships that extend beyond the workplace. Do not mistake what would your 70-year-old self say. Exactly, Jason man. Exactly, Jason man. What would my 70-year-old self say to me? You're old now. You can't have that KFC. You can't have that patty. You can't climb Dungeon River Fall anymore. Why didn't you climb it when you're in your prime? Nikki says, eat the food. Eat it responsibly, yes. And that's so true. That is so true. Dave says, man, they gonna tell egg and sardine for days. Yes, it's true. It's true. I literally went on vacation and I bought 27 sardines and 60 eggs. And that's a fact. Because I'm watching my weight. I'm on a diet. And I'm consistent with my diet. Until my friend laughed me to scorn and let me know that I'm not living. I'm not living. So yes, it's just Kav is laughing. Kav is laughing. Kav is laughing. Even when I was going through the airport and they opened my suitcase, when I saw the dip of sardine, the gentleman looked at me and just looked down. He didn't say anything. He just looked down and closed back the suitcase. Because I was wondering where this man is going to my sardine. And I had my skipping rope in my suitcase. I had my skipping rope in my suitcase. But I listen. Sometimes we sometimes we you know, yes, I tend to go a bit overboard sometimes, but I'm learning to live. I'm learning to live a little. 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 So as I said, ensure the friends. Sometimes we have some good friends in our life, you know, we ignore them. We ignore them because we think we're busy with work.